This is exactly what we talk about when we talk about the whole of community response as we fight the battle against COVID-19 and the coronavirus outbreak in this state. To put some context to it, we have great community partners in aviation, logistics, and transport. But when our community partners looked out to use the standard commercial system with the huge increase in demand, this fabric would not have arrived until this coming Friday. So we pivoted to the Guard, as you've heard me say before, to kind of triage and cover this short-term gap, because certainly the virus is not honoring our holidays or vacations or any of the rest, and we absolutely have to make sure our healthcare workers are protected. So we were able to get approval through FEMA. I want to thank FEMA Region 9 and the FEMA administrator and the administration for authorizing us to use a KC-135 out of the 161st Air Refueling Wing to go out and back. They did that mission in 10 hours and 38 minutes. Took off from here, flew to North Carolina, loaded over 50,000 yards of fabric that you see some of it here for both Banner and Dignity Health, returned, offloaded it at Sky Harbor, and then delivered it here to F.A.B.R.I.C. And to all of you out there, that's just a small example of the very small part that the 8,200 soldiers and airmen in this state play. The bigger issue is all the seamstresses you see behind me. And I've said it before to my formations. This is the opportunity for those younger generations to be the next greatest generation, to step up. You know, the Rosie the Riveters of 1942 may be the seamstresses that are going to provide this personal protective equipment that allow our great doctors, nurses, EMTs, skilled nursing facility workers, and the rest to be there, because they're very difficult to replace, and if they're down sick, that's going to put even greater pressure on the system, so we have to protect them. So I'd like to introduce Sherri. I really appreciate what she does, running a great fashion design company that's offered up their facility to go ahead and sew all this fabric into gowns for our great healthcare workers. So Sherri Berry.
I'm the co-founder of F.A.B.R.I.C here in Tempe. We have a very unique organization here. It's a fashion incubator. We've helped 450 plus brands launch out of this building in the last 3 years. It is owned by the city of Tempe. I call it a public social cooperative enterprise. We are a community organization, and our expertise is in design, development, and manufacturing. So, of course, when this crisis came about, we were the people in the community that were looked to help solve it, and we wanted to help solve it. If you make something for a specific need, and we are technical design people, making PPE for our healthcare professionals is probably the highest level of making something that's safe and effective as you can get. And when we approached this project, it wasn't just about creating Dr. G's perfect design. It was also us learning and becoming the experts that we needed to be so that we could make stuff safe and effectively. As of last week, F.A.B.R.I.C is a registered entity with the FDA. We are currently approved to make level 1 and 2 gowns as long as the fabric is rated for those uses. And Dr. G's design is being submitted as we speak to the FDA because that is a level 3 gown and it needs specific approval to be safe and effective for the use for our healthcare providers. So the things that we're making out of this building with all of the partners here are going to be exactly what our frontline healthcare professionals need so they can be safe and effective. And we couldn't be more proud to be a part of that, to have the partners in the community we have to help support it. This fabric would still be on a truck making its way from North Carolina, and instead today it's on our cutting table so that we can start working on these gowns immediately today. F.A.B.R.I.C is a team of people. We have great designers and pattern makers and cutters and sewers. We also have a 501c3 nonprofit here, Arizona Apparel Foundation. Our nonprofit has jumped into the mission to help mitigate our PPE shortage, and they have, through the help of other generous community donors like the Arizona Community Foundation, Tempe IDA, And the Thunderbirds, we have gotten help and donations to buy the capital equipment needed to go from an incubator that was making small specialized lots to being able to make tens of thousands of gowns in a hurry. That takes a lot of additional equipment, and so we've gotten a lot of community support for that, which we really appreciate, and we do have a GoFundMe out there to help continue that support. We're thrilled to be here. We're thrilled to be doing this. It is a heart and passion project for us right now, and we want to get back to work so that our healthcare providers have what they need. And thank you for all your support.